Good morning. Welcome back. This is your reading from Monday, February 17th, which we can all call Not My President's Day. Let's call it President Lincoln's Day, President Carter's Day, but not this one because he's not my president. So, I've allowed for reversals. Let's get the 3 cards for what we most need to know, and then I'll show you the astrology. But of course, this is our day for a lot of peaceful protests all over the nation's capitals and other places as well. But I think it's mostly the capitals. I don't think there are any rules around organizing a protest except for to make it peaceful, right? So what do we need to know? What do we all need to know for this day? To consciously use the energy. There we are. Okay. 10 of Cups. Happy family. It's straight up, so there's no dysfunction. Happy family, it's what we want. It's what we know we have inside of us. It's going for everything. This is also honors LGBTQ, IA even, and then we have the 5 of Swords. So there's some inner conflicts with some people, but that doesn't mean it has to. Oh my goodness! And then we have the 5 of Wands. We had the 5 of Wands yesterday, but over here. So okay. So I would say be very careful. Be careful because of the 5 of Swords being the theme for the day. Because this is fighting energy. You know, people are. Maybe it's really just a lot of us that are feeling like we've been defeated, and when we do need to win at all costs. Right? I mean, there is that, but not at the cost of anyone's lives or hurting anyone else, because that's not going to get us where we want to go on the soul level. But this is a card of conflict and tension. So that is the theme for the day. And there's a battle, there's a struggle, but I really want to stress the fact that we need to keep our hearts open and let your energy be used in the most positive way, which would be that to remember that we're all here on planet Earth, and it's an equal opportunity planet, and everyone gets to incarnate to work out their own inner conflicts. And a lot of those inner conflicts have to do with thinking that they're right and you're wrong and back and forth, blah, blah, blah. Just let that go, let all that go, and come back to the place of happiness and bliss. If you can direct your energy, which is what Mars is all about, towards inclusiveness and bliss and opening and just unbounded possibilities, then that would honor Pisces, that Pisces energy. So I think this has to do with setting the intention for the day, whether or not we can, whether or not each and every one of us can go to a protest, a peaceful protest. If we put this energy out there, it's because the love energy is always stronger, and unless you're having to, now the only place I believe in any kind of violence is if you're having to protect yourself, you know, if it's that, right? Then of course, you don't just lay down and take it if somebody's trying to come at you with something, right? So, but when it comes to peaceful protests, we just want to stay away from things like this and people like these types of people that think that they're better than you, or who just want to start problems, who are disconnected from the heart. Just go the other way. So, okay, and in my community section, or it's actually called posts now, I found an article about how to dress and what to wear if you go to a peaceful protest, so that might be helpful, I hope. So, okay, well, other than that, let's look at the tarot, or I'm sorry, let's look at the astrology. That was the tarot. So here's the chart for the day. I have the aspect set to a very tight orb, and we have the moon in the third decan of the sign. So things are getting more intense, and we've gone past the learning lessons and frick around and find out phase, and now we're in a position of deepening and blossoming. Now, in the realm of Libra, it's all about relationship and justice and fairness and equality, and it's in exact opposition to Eris, and Eris is the fighting female that doesn't give up. She does not give up, and she's stronger than Pluto. She takes 556 to 558 years to get around the zodiac. She moved into Aries in 1926, and she stays in this sign until 2048. Aries is all about your own unique individuality, all by yourself. It's about winning the things that you go towards, but it's good to not hurt. We don't want to hurt each other. And it's all about our independence. So she's fighting for independence, and the public mood is with her. Now, there are confrontations when we have opposition, so there will be female public confrontations with the man. And these confrontations can lead to breakthroughs. And then we also have that opposition still going on between, of course, for quite some time, because Neptune doesn't move very quickly at all. And so, yeah, it's a very tight orb right now. So again, here we are with a confrontation between not being victimized and not being in a cult, and gathering facts and creating public health awareness on different levels too, because now we have we're kind of on our own, which is a good way to be. Actually, I don't need the government to tell me how to stay healthy. It's nice to have vaccines, though. I mean, right? But we have an idiot that's had 2 worm brains and is or 2 worm brains. Maybe that's true too. Yeah, has has had 2 worms go into through his ear and into his brain and cause him major problems, and he is now the head of Human Health and Services. Gee. Any problems there, you think? So, but it's okay. We can take care of ourselves. We can still get we will always still be able to get vaccines. They may not be free anymore. And when it comes to taking care of our health, this South Node in Virgo for the next year and a half is there to support us in figuring that out. So the theme for this, and we're going to have eclipses on this nodal axis. We're going to have 4 of them that come up. So March 13th, 14th, and then March 29th. So we have the lunar eclipse first. Solar eclipse always comes 2 weeks later. But actually the solar eclipse is going to be in Aries and Libra. So because these are just partial eclipses. So we'll have a little more relationship and courage energy, but this moon in Libra here is helpful to because we don't have it as often, or we have the moon in Libra every month, but when you know, well, actually, every time it happens, we're going to just about oppose Eris. So we'll have this, you know, next month too. But anyway, that's intense. And this is very intense over here. This is the last day that we have the sun in Aquarius for this year, of course. Tomorrow, the 18th, it's going to move into Pisces, and then it's going to hit up with, we're going to have the major, I mean, we already have a stellium in Pisces, but it's going to get even bigger. And, but you can see the exact inconjunct here between the South Node and Ceres. So Ceres will still stay there for a while. But it's intensely rebellious. The energy is intensely rebellious today. And, you know, it's intensely able to network as well, especially with the moon in Libra. So yeah, you know, developing relationships that deepen is a hallmark of the moon in Libra and in the later degrees. So, yeah, and then later on tonight, the moon will move into Scorpio, and things will get even more deeply connected and possibly intense. So we want to be safe and be careful out there. Whatever you do, we still have the same semi-square going from Uranus to Venus. So that's the same as yesterday, where it's a friction type of a, you know, energy where you feel the need to do something, you're energized and something needs to get done, and that is very understandable. So whether you attend a peaceful protest or not, it looks to me like a day where we can be very engaged in relationship, and there's a lot of courage, and it's a really good day for doing some networking. And maybe a lot of this will be seen online and on TV because the sun, she puts a spotlight on whatever the issue is, and the issue is definitely rebellion and reformation and being very outspoken. You know, people aren't, this is not a quiet, this is not a quiet transit at all. Not at all. And then we still have all the little semi-sextiles, which are, you know, they're just gradual efforts to start building and manifesting. So, okay, well, that's all I have for today. I'll be back later. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Okay. Thank you. Bye.